Udah ada.
Ada. Oke. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone. Have you ever wondered what makes a project successful or unsuccessful? The answer often lies in a good evaluation. We are in Group 7. Today we explain the basic of evaluation. We'll discuss what evaluation is, its various types, and its various paradigms. Then we'll show you how it works through a demonstration. Before we dive deeper into our material, allow us to introduce ourselves first. My name is Apido Fadil Hadid.
My name is Ardelia Natania Ramadanti.
My name is Dian Rafael Ghazali.
My name is Isma Nadia.
My name is Ridho Akbar Pangestu.
Alright, without further ado, let's get started with our first topic. Our first topic is evaluation. What is evaluation? And the concept of evaluation. Evaluation is a process of assessing user experience with a product to create an effective, efficient, and satisfying system. So what does this definition really mean for us? It means that evaluation is not just about finding what's broken. It's a proactive process to ensure the final product is effective at its job, efficient to use, and ultimately delivers a satisfying experience to the user. And then the second is evaluation purpose. Evaluation purpose is to assess the extent and accessibility of system functionality, to assess the user interaction experience, and to identify specific problem with the system. I quote from Gustav Nazzini was stated that iterative design with its repeated design and testing cycles is the only valid methodology for producing successful product. In this case, it is explicitly stated that the goal of evaluation is to achieve product success. Now, the question is, what is a successful product? Basically, this is the same as ensuring that the product being made truly meets the needs and expectations of the users. Evolution remains essential. There is no guarantee that user needs will stay the same, and information technology itself evolves rapidly. Therefore, IT product must be continuously evaluated and refined. Without evaluation, organization cannot identify a product's weakness or the user needs it fails to meet. If ignored, this will inevitably lead to the product being abandoned by its user. And then, when and where? Evaluation can be in the laboratory, in the natural setting of the product user, product under construction, new product, or product improvement. Then next topic is type of, types of evaluation. Evaluation in natural environment. This evaluation is conducted in the real world with little intervention from the researcher. So, this approach is about testing a product or system in this real world. The researcher role here is to observe with a minimal interference, capturing how users naturally interact with the product in their own setting, whether that's an office, a home, or on the go. The key advantage is high ecological validity. You get authentic data on real-world usage, uncovering unexpected issues and usability patterns. And then the second is evaluation in a controlled environment. This is the basic lab-based study. Here, the researcher set up a pre-arranged standardized setting like a usability lab where specific variables can be carefully controlled and measured. This process carried out a pre-arranged and controlled the setting. And the last is evaluation without direct user involvement. This evaluation does not involve interaction with users. Instead, the assessment is done through analysis, prediction, and modeling to evaluate the quality of product. This method doesn't require user for live testing. Instead, experts or analytical methods are used to assess the product. This includes techniques like heuristic evaluation, where experts review the design against usability principles, or predictive modeling using established formulas. And then the next presenter.
Alright, paradigms of evaluation. Quick and dirty evaluation is the most informal and unstructured evaluation method It is used to obtain quick, early feedback on a product, feature, or prototype. This method does not follow strict protocol, predefined text, or formal documentation. The feedback collected is usually subjective and primarily, but very useful for gain initial impression. This type of evaluation typically involves designer, research, product developer, early user, college, or consultant. In the example shown in the image, Facebook involved a small percentage of each user to test the reaction feature before releasing it globally. Quick and dirty evaluation is usually conducted during the early stage of product development when an initial prototype is available before conducting more formal or large-scale evaluation. This evaluation can be carried out in informal settings such as office or labs, online, directly within the platform where the product is used. In the Facebook example, the evaluation was conducted within the Facebook platform by testing the feature on 1% of users. Quick and dirty evaluation is used because it saves time and cost, requires minimal planning, provide fast and useful initial insight, help identify obvious issues early. The process generally involves showing a prototype or feature to user, asking for spontaneous feedback, analyzing feedback informally, refining the product based on research. Example from the image, Facebook notice emotional reaction is user comment, prototype emoji based reaction, tested them with 1% of user, validate the result, rolled out the feature globally. Ke ini aja, ke Play Store lagi dia. Alright, di sini ada contohnya itu seperti Facebook, di mana Facebook ini terdapat rating. Ini contohnya itu seperti saya nih sebagai developer utama yang baru aja rilis sebuah software. Terus teman saya sebagai user mencoba melakukan implementasi terhadap Facebook ini. Nah, di mana teman saya ini memberikan saran kepada saya, coba ditambahkan, contohnya ini kayak Facebook, coba ditambahkan sebuah emoji seperti like, terus love, terus emot nangis, emot sedih, emot ketawa. Nah, itu. Tapi hal ini itu bias dan tidak valid, tidak memakai rating yang setinggi ini. Mungkin hanya beberapa orang saja dan di awal perancangan biasanya. Cukup, Tio. Next presenter.
Usability testing. Usability testing is an evaluation method where several users are asked to try a product in a controlled environment. The researcher observes and records how they use the product and what issues they encounter. In this example, we are testing the Erlang application by asking users to search for lecturers and students for the human-computer interaction class. From this process, we evaluate the usage time, any obstacle they face, and the feedback they provide. Belum.
Udah dimulai lagi apa belum, Dok? Lanjut aja.
lanjut aja.
Rido. Masih di mute, Dok. Oke.
Pertama-tama kita buka Edlink dulu. Setelah kita buka Edlink, kita pilih mata kuliah apa yang akan kita buka. Di sini kami buka interaksi manusia dan komputer. Di bagian sini kita bisa melihat pengajar dan peserta. Ini adalah dosen yang mengajar mata kuliah tersebut dan ini adalah peserta yang mengikuti mata kuliah tersebut. Di bagian sini kita bisa berdiskusi dengan mahasiswa lain, dengan dosen. Terus di bagian sesi pembelajaran kita juga bisa melihat materi dari sesi pertama sampai sesi terakhir. Untuk di bagian tugas, kita juga bisa mengumpulkan tugas di sini. Untuk pengumpulan tugas, kita membutuhkan 8 sampai 10 klik untuk sampai ke submitnya ini. Itu menurut saya kurang efisien. Next presenter.
Studies take the research into the user's natural environment. We go to their office, home, or a public space. We observe users interacting with the product in their actual context. Why we do it? We see all the real distractions, habits, and pressure that happen naturally. This helps us design products that fit the user's real life. For example, a team observed farmers in a village. They found problems like difficulty accessing weather and market prices. This led to a new farming app with voice notification for weather and a press update system. Next presenter.
Okay, next is predictive evaluation. This method is important because it allows us to identify usability problems without involving real users. So what is predictive evaluation? Predictive evaluation is an evaluation method that does not involve users at all. Instead, the evaluation is done by one or more usability experts who analyze the interface based on established guidelines such as Nielsen 10 usability heuristics. From this process, experts can predict which parts of the interface are likely to cause problems for users. Why doesn't it use real user? This method is suitable for early-stage products or when we need a quick and cost-efficient evaluation. UX experts can identify major usability problems early, even before the product is ready for real user testing.
Okay, and then I will show the demonstration about Jacob Nielsen 10 usability heuristic. I will show demonstration with a Messi website. The Messi website is called this rngreen.net. And in this website, and the first of 10 usability heuristic is visibility of system status. This website is not a single address page, provides no location, progress, or progress feedback. The user is perpetually lost in this website. And then match between system and real world. In this website, use a confusing mix of Norwegian and English. Product organization device real world logic. For example, there is a language that English and then Norwegian. And then user control and freedom. No global navigation, home or back. This is only to scroll. No have a home button or back button. Only scroll. And then consistency and standard. Zero consistency in layout, typography, color, or alignment. Every section looks different. And then error prevention. No grouping, clear boundaries, or confirmation. Links and images are placed quickly, making accidental clicks almost certain. And then recognition of vertical. Cause user to remember item location in a vast sea of content. No meaningful categories or persistent menu to add recognition. And then flexibility and efficient to use. In this web is no sorting or shortcuts. It serves only the novice mode in the least efficient way possible. And then aesthetic and minimalist design. This website is not aesthetic and minimalist design. The antithesis of minimalist, it suffers from visual noise, glazing, color excessive animation, crowded layout, and non-negative space. And then help user recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. This website is no errors message or recovery aids. If a link is broken or leads nowhere, the user is left with no guidance. And the last is help and documentation. This website no have fake help section or documentation. The only support is the owner's contact info scattered randomly across the page. So that's the result of the evaluation of this website, which looks very messy and can be changed according to the heuristic assessments above. So finally, we reached the end of our presentation. Before we go, let me remind you one thing: take good care of your belongings, especially your tumblers. But more importantly, take good care of your reputation and responsibility because once it goes viral, the impact can be far more devastating than losing 1,000 tumblers. I think that's enough for our presentation. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.